And I want to talk to you about a book. And I want to talk to you about this book here. And this is a collection of tunes written by a Kilmarnock composer, a left-handed fiddler, a self-taught fiddler by the name of John C. Grant. And it's a collection of tunes that he's called the Tarbolton Collection. This is the second collection of tunes that he's written. His first collection is called the Kilmarnock Edition, but this was a Tarbolton collection. And it came about after he was asked to be involved in creating a walking route around the town of Tarbolton, a wee village that's often overlooked. If you've never been to Tarbolton, go. It's a fascinating wee place, full of history, full of little wee interesting streets, fascinating places and gorgeous walks. I highly recommend the walking route that John was involved in putting together. And when he was putting it together, he was kind of struck with the place, and struck with the different people and all the folk associated with it. He started to write tunes, and those tunes just kind of kept on evolving and evolving. And when you look at the contents page of this, there's kind of places in Tarbolton, the bowling club and the cross, and the library and the parish church and the primary school, and so on and so forth. But the one that then comes to me is the Bachelors Club in Tarbolton. Now, the Ayrshire Fiddle Orchestra's got a really strong link with the Bachelors Club. Wallace Gilbraith, who's the founder of the orchestra, he was their fiddle player for years and years and years. And a violin was kind of brought to his attention as being a violin played by William Gregg. Now, that's been our parts before. William Gregg was the dancing master at the Bachelors Club when it first started. Robert Burns was a founding member of the Bachelors Club and danced to this instrument being played. Burns could play the fiddle as well, so did he play that violin as well? Maybe. So we've got that connection, and when Wallace stepped down as the fiddle player at the Bachelors Club, I as musical director of the Fiddle Orchestra, I took that on, and I go and play for their Burns Supper once a year, which is unlike any other Burns Supper that I've ever played at and been to. You sit there and you can almost expect the bard himself to kind of walk in the door. It's really quite an amazing experience. So I look through here and I see a whole host of names. A name that's in the programme an awful lot tonight, Alistair McCulloch. There's a tune in here for him. There's a tune for me as well. Wallace Gilbraith. And then there's this one here, Dr. Philippa Whitford, MP. Now, Philippa was the MP for Central Ayrshire for how long? 9 years. She's here, so it's really handy that I can ask about it. And before that, before she was an MP, she was just a mere breast cancer surgeon. She was a parent of the Fiddle Orchestra. Sean, her son, was in the orchestra. A few years younger than me. So I've known Philippa for what feels like almost my whole life. And when I saw her name in here, I thought, oh, that's really quite nice. Fiddle Orchestra parent. But then, in our political life, and the Ayrshire Fiddle Orchestra, we are not politically affiliated at all with any party. We're supported by MPs, various different colours and flags and rosettes, from our wonderful local councillors to MSPs to MPs to when we had the European Parliament MEPs as well. And that's wonderful, to have that support from the whole range of political parties, just supporting these young people and the Scottish music that we do. But Philippa was really instrumental in getting the orchestra to go on our annual trips to London. You'll have seen some photographs during the interval before the concert, and a few of them were from London, where we've been down and had the privilege to play in various different places where no many other folk get to play, including Downing Street for 3 of the last 4 Prime Ministers, various different Whitehall departments for civil servants, for some political parties as well for their events, and we've also been allowed to play in the bar inside Westminster, where music's not allowed at all, except for one day a year when the Ayrshire Fiddle Orchestra's in town, and the halls reverberate with our fiddle tunes. And Philippa was hugely involved in organising all those trips for us. as well as just being a huge support all the way from when she was a parent, right the way through. So we've arranged this to say a thank you to you, but along with that was our thank you to all of our elected officials, no matter what party we're from. Your support for this orchestra is huge, and we really, really appreciate every one of you. And it also goes to my friend John, who wrote all these tunes, and who was gracious enough to let me arrange it for the orchestra. So this is Dr. Philippa Whitford, MP. Again, it's world premiere.